Nobody plans on being charged with a DWI in North Carolina, so let's walk through some of the things that we need to do to mitigate damages. I'm Clarke Dummit with Dummit Fradin, and I've been fighting DWIs for more than 30 years. In an ideal world, you would be very polite and cooperative, you wouldn't incriminate yourself, and you would ask for an attorney early in the process. It's my experience after 30 years that in the real world, you don't follow that advice. Most of my clients have spoken to officers in great detail, have given statements, and the officers wear body camera, so anything and everything you say and do will come back and we'll have to deal with it in a courtroom. There's an old saying, you live by the sword and you die by the sword. And today, video in the courtroom can work for you or work against you. So we need to get that video and see whether it helps you or hurts you. Most of the clients I've seen through the years cooperated with law enforcement, which typically is a good thing. But in field sobriety tests, you don't have to do them. They're designed for failure, and ultimately they're just going to make you look bad. In North Carolina, one of the field tests will be an ALCO sensor, which is a small portable breath test. It's not admissible in court, and you can absolutely refuse to take it. Under North Carolina law, you can refuse all field sobriety tests without any consequences. You simply have a constitutional right not to give evidence against yourself. This advice changes once you get down into the breath room, because if you refuse the Intox ECIR2, you face additional administrative consequences. North Carolina recognizes an implied consent, which is a legal fiction saying you're going to consent to a breath test once you get downtown. Under the implied consent rules, if you don't consent to taking a breath test, you can lose your license for 1 full year administratively. This is a revocation issued by the Division of Motor Vehicles. It's an administrative revocation in addition to any of the criminal consequences you're already facing. So the question is, should you take the breath test once you're downtown and put in front of the machine? And the simple answer is, if you're certain you're going to blow under the legal limit, yes, take it. The more complex question is, if you're probably over the limit, should you take it or should you not? And that depends upon whether you have a valid driver's license or not, because you may not get driving privileges. And it depends upon whether you've got a prior within the last 7 years, because again, you wouldn't get driving privileges. Under North Carolina law, if you refuse to take the breath test, an officer may go get a search warrant signed by a magistrate and come back and force you to have your blood drawn. If you refuse the breath test, and then the officer got a search warrant and drew blood, you've got the worst of both worlds, because you have a 1-year refusal and you've got the evidence to be used against you in court. As you can see, DWIs are extremely complex. Reach out to our firm and we'll set you up a meeting with one of our experienced DWI attorneys, and we can explain how each one of these factors apply to your case.